recognises the benefit of having a trained workforce. Yet the caravan industry appetite for training seems to be intimately linked to government subsidies. Today we're going to hear why training needs to look beyond short-term incentives so it can deliver long-term business benefits, including reputation protection, productivity improvements and financial return on investment. To walk us through the importance of a trained workforce, it's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage the Chief Executive Officer of Caravan Industry Association Victoria. Please welcome Rob Lucas.
Welcome everybody back from a long lunch. I'm pretty much pleased to see so many people in the room. I thought you might be off having a siesta. First of all, I'd like to thank Caravan Industry Association of Australia for the invitation to speak. We're working very closely with Stuart on a range of initiatives, and training is one of those that we know will be important in the future of our industry. Today I'm also going to be co-presenting with Daniel Solberg, our Industry Development Manager, who has taken charge and the lead on many of the initiatives that he'll outline for you shortly. Before I commence, can I just ask everyone in the audience to put your hands up if you flew here to the Gold Coast Conference? Did you fly here? Okay, thank you. So if you were given a choice between two different pilots who flew that plane, one was trained and the other was not, which one would you choose? Seems pretty obvious, doesn't it, which one you choose? However, employers all the time have staff doing very important work, and that staff are either untrained or undertrained in our industry. The importance of training cannot be underestimated in what it can do for a business. We often talk about it, but our actions don't hit the ground and the rubber does not hit the road. Training takes time and money, and often in our industry, both of those things are just too hard. However, not providing adequate training, as we all know, comes at a cost. When I talk to my members about training and the benefit to their business, I talk about what I call the 6 truths that underscore the importance of training to the business. And I'd like to take you through those 6 truths and then take you through a couple of observations I've had in the 7 years I've been in this wonderful, great industry of ours. So, first, untrained or undertrained employees equal unhappy employees. It's universally known that employees who feel inadequate or underachieving or unsupported are unhappy. If they're unhappy, they're not doing their job properly. They're often underperforming, and you then have knock-on issues associated with performance management and a range of other issues. It's quite universally known that people who are trained often are happy, not always happy. And yesterday, listening to the AMBO guy, I can understand why some issues are happening. Second, untrained or undertrained workers often have lower productivity. The quality of employees' work tends to be lower. The quality of performance is lower than it could be or should be, and often that comes at great cost. Untrained or undertrained employees are inefficient. More time, more money, more effort is spent when an employee has not been fully trained. You know that as well as I do, it just takes them longer to undertake tasks that you always believe should be done faster and better. Number 4 is the lost time, money due to mistakes. When an employee makes a mistake, the time and material used are lost. They're gone. There's often rework, often product is delivered to a customer, which causes more problems. All of this adds up to a burden on business that could be avoided with proper training. 5th truth I talk to our members about is an increase in other costs. So there's a couple of direct costs, but there's always other costs associated. Examples of printing brochures that all have to be scrapped. Time taken to rework on the production line. All is time, and it's all costing money. And the 6th is insufficient training can lead to lost customers. The reality is that whilst an untrained or undertrained employee can cause any number of other problems, when it comes to your reputation, the biggest problem is the potential loss of customers. A whole customer service promise is jeopardised by poor staff performance, whether it's in the front office, on the phone, or in the production line. All this leads to frustration and loss of confidence by the customers. I think the reality is that all of this, with a little bit of structure, can make a significant difference. So let's want to look at a couple of observations. In 7 years, I think across our industry, training, the culture of training is not embedded. However, there are some excellent examples, both in the park and trade sectors that I've seen in the last 7 years, which are fantastic. But we must ask ourselves, why are they almost the exception, not the norm? Often, training within certainly the trade sector is seen through the prism of government subsidies. No money, no training. How short-sighted is that? And often, the issue associated with that, of course, is that by not training your people, you keep getting the same results. And also, training is not seen through the eyes of what benefits it can be for the business. So all this short-term view of the world, and I've seen that so often, particularly in the trade sector. So we must break the cycle. In 2012, when we released the Victorian Caravan Industry Blueprint, the two top issues that were challenges and threats to our industry was better productivity and skills. So in 2012, we started a journey. That journey is still on the way. You've seen a little bit of it at this conference with the National Caravan Industry Training College, which commenced in 2015 and is starting to gain momentum. That college, and let me be clear, the objectives are clear. We want our members to be world class. We want our members to be able to have highly trained people, to be competitive in a market that we hear as being more competitive. I listened to Peter Clay before, who, by the way, I think is doing a sensational job for our industry. The research that he's putting together is going to be so beneficial in the long term. Hear Peter talk about things that are about competition and the challenges that that bring. So we've got to be on our game, both in the parks and in the trades. So the issue for us, of course, is this happens. The only thing worse than training your employees and having them leave is not training them and having them stay. The fact is that it makes good business sense to have a training culture that provides opportunities for your employees. And I can say that through our state association and working closely with the other state associations, that journey has commenced. I'd now like to introduce Daniel Solberg to the podium, who will give you a bit of an example of some of the work that we're doing in Victoria. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to get everyone to give themselves a round of applause. So, give yourself a clap. Does anyone know why I just did that? Wake is up, yes. No, because I read the program and there was a champagne appreciation session and you're all actually here, so I just wanted to thank you for being here. As Rob touched on, I'm going to touch on what we're starting to deliver with training, but I wanted to start and lead on to touching on Rob's talk, where it talks about what's going on in the world and what goes on in business. As you can see here with the graph, on the left-hand side, it was just given a business ranking of where they sit in the world. So we've given number 5 as world class and 0 as the bottom. As you can see, I've done an example here in the middle, and typically what happens is people rest on their laurels and keep doing what they're doing. Now the world's always going to be increasing, and that average business level is always going to be better. It's always going to get better. We've all seen it during this conference, and we're seeing it with the power of technology, that the world is always going to increase. So if you sit within your 4 walls, and I know how important it is to focus on the products and the services that you're producing, but the world's going by. It's disappearing quicker than what you created your business and how you got to your business level. So how do we keep up with this change? We learn. We learn about these things, we understand them, which is education and training. As Rob touched on, in 2015 we launched the National Caravan Industry Training College. It's a brand that represents education and training. It's a brand. It's a virtual brand that can be delivered anywhere. Its training for our industry has always been niche. Typically, we get picked up by other sectors and other industries and deliver those types of training. Construction, automotive. And I had to tell this story. Rob and I sat in a meeting with a major apprenticeship traineeship network last year, and they brought us a fancy little brochure that said, we can deliver training with you guys, we can do this, we can do it together. And we said, oh, what are you going to deliver? And they said, oh, I'm going to teach you guys how to do plumbing, electrical, construction. And we went, oh, this is great, on the journey. And we said, how are you going to do it? Oh, a 5-day course. Okay, what are you going to do? And they said, oh, we're going to teach them how to build and how to do electrical work and how to do plumbing work. And we said, how are you going to do it? And the guys are going to ran Rob doing, what's he talking about? He said, oh, you know, I'm going to get them to make frames and all that sort of stuff. We said, okay, how are you going to do it? What are you going to use? Oh, studs. What type of studs? Oh, 90mm studs. And I had to hold Rob back from jumping the table because, as he said, it's people like you that are changing our industry and delivering the wrong training outcomes. We all use timber 19mm frames, aluminium frames, or sandwich panels. So what's the point of learning something that's not relevant? Which is why we created this brand. As you can see, the slogan, real industry training for real industry people. We started off having a different slogan, but we changed that deliberately to tie in with that theme. We've got to make sure that we're doing the right things, not the wrong things. Because as we know, you get the wrong outcomes. Don't accept what someone tells you, keep digging. Keep finding what you actually need. With our training, we know that all businesses, all people, all jobs are different. Typically what happens, they give you a set course structure, you know, in our case, 22 units, that's it. And it's not relevant, typically. However, that doesn't suit everybody. It doesn't suit every business. So why accept it? So what we've created with our the first segment that we started with our service and repair sector, in our qualification for our industry, there's 70 units of competency that someone can pick. We use 50 of them. We've streamed it into the job roles and these options. So depending on your business, what you do or what you want to do, you can train your people and train yourselves to do different things. When we started, we estimated that we'll probably get 30 to 50 in the first year. In 6 months, we got to 120, which in other industry speak is not large. But in 2014, when our industry did 8 nationally of all the 3 qualifications, we think we did a good job. And that's only the start. These are the things that we've been running. We're starting the journey to educate the people about what we do and what we want to do. We've got a manufacturing pilot program that we're going to be rolling out this year. We've been delivering industry qualifications, as I mentioned, with service and repair. We've done some school-based learning programs, done a first aid course. Funnily enough, that's one of our trainers. Also, technical and regulation seminars about changing of legislation, rules and regs, compliance requirements, new products. We also are going to run in the next week with Vic Parks. We're running a test and tag course for Caravan parks. Why pay someone to do it when you can do it yourself? Save yourself a lot of money. We're also next month, as Rob touched on the other day, releasing and starting our Emerging Leaders program. It's a self-learning program that teaches you about yourself and to be a better learner and a better leader. We'll also be releasing a supervisor's course within the next 2 months, all aimed at the caravan industry. This is what we're going to do. These are all the programs. We've broken it up into 2 sides. Accredited training with your licences, your qualifications, your diplomas, and then your professional development programs, which we see is the key to our industry. You have product training there, rules and regulation updates with what's going on. You get your qualification at one point in time. It could be 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but as we've learned, and a lot of people have spoken about, everything changes. Alco released a new product. How does anyone know about it? Dometic, Thetford, all you guys release a new product, and what typically happens, and this is designed to be an avenue for business as well. Now, typically, they go to the OEMs, the manufacturers first. Sell a product to get into the latest products. So, by the time the salesperson goes out to talk to a manufacturer, by the time it's actually on the product, 6 months. Then by the time it gets to a dealer, 12 months. Then by the time it gets to the service repair, caravan park, 12 to 18 months. There's an opportunity of lost business. So this professional development is also for you guys to run business training. When you release a new product, you're learning. Everything's changing. So you're teaching people about what it is, how to do it, and why do it. These courses, with all the suppliers and all businesses, can run training. We talk to our members, all in one place, all at one time. Our workshops over the last 2 years, we've had over 800 people come through, and we've run about 10. So if you want a business opportunity, a different business opportunity, this is a model and an avenue to do it. So before I touch on this, what I've written here, let's work smarter, not harder. Let's work together and make our industry a better place. This sort of sums it up. An organisation's ability to learn and translate that learning into action rapidly is the ultimate competitive advantage. Thank you very much.